What is up? If you have an agency and you're spending a lot of time on quality checks, I'm going to show you how you can use technology to speed you up significantly, even if you don't think it's possible. So a lot of our clients, they spend a lot of time on quality, either reviewing stuff and like compiling an email, or it's just a big pain in the ass. They don't have any statistics on if their team is getting better or worse. They don't know which of their people, they don't really have any real data on which their people are the best. And so I'm going to show you how you can use both Make and Airtable no-code tools to massively speed up quality checks with like tagging of a quality issue with a predefined list of quality issues, using that with a combination of manual and automatic tags. If you do a lot of text-based stuff, you probably have a lot of errors. I'm going to show you how to define or detect those automatically. And there's going to be some things, even with text, that you have to do manually. With video, you have to do it manually. With like a landing page, you have to do it manually probably. How to auto-generate sort of an error report so they can fix it. And then also track quality KPIs. So determining the most common errors across your entire team, so you know if you need to do certain training, and also tracking the people on your team that are making the most common mistakes. So here's an example of what we can do with something like this. This is a graph of the total output of, actually this is us, but you can use this for your own agency as well, tracking the number of mistakes being made. You can track the most common errors per person. You can track the people on your team that are making the most overall mistakes or the most severe mistakes. This architecture is going to speed you up significantly. The use case where this originally came from is a client of ours that had about like 5 to 10 people on his team, and he was spending basically the entire day making custom looms for people for written content. And we transitioned him over into the system, and it saved like hours and hours and hours of his day. So if quality is a thing that you struggle with, this is going to help you. So again, graphs like this, emails like this, we can auto-generate these things, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So the problem is, you've probably heard of tools like Grammarly that can do quality checks on text. Now, the problem is Grammarly can only do grammar and spelling mistakes. It can't do style mistakes that are specific to your SOP. So it can't do like, hey, this link didn't have HTTPS in it, it had HTTP. It can't do the second paragraph was too long. It can't do, the paragraph was too long, too short. It can't do the entire thing was too long, too short. It can't do that you are missing a call to action in the third paragraph. So that is the problem, and that's why Grammarly is an insufficient solution to this. And you can almost think of this solution as like building your own custom Grammarly, which is kind of cool. All right. So what do you need for this? You need at least 3 tables. You need a team table, a projects table, and a quality errors table. That's your Airtable setup. So for example, if we look at something like this, we have a team table, we have a projects table, or maybe this is like landing pages or emails or something, and you'd need a quality errors table. So in your quality errors table, you're going to define the most common errors that your team makes. So, the first paragraph is too long or too short, or maybe you misspelled something or whatever it is. I'm going to show you an example here because I think that kind of stuff is helpful. But the minimum is you need the errors, people who are making those errors, as in like people who were assigned to the deliverable and the deliverable itself. Right? So for example, here's some examples. Here's a real screenshot from a client. Right? And we would suggest like a link to the training video, linked to each error, probably some kind of like severity as well. And you can use a technology called a regular expression if you use text, like if you're doing like SEO or copywriting, like you're a ghostwriting agency, things like that, to automatically detect some of these errors. And we have this annoyingness factor here, which is just a severity score. Okay, so that's your setup here. This is this. So that's your Airtable setup. The second technology you need is called a regular expression. And this is a technology that can be used across languages. It can be used in Make, Zapier, Python, like C++. Any language in the world uses regular expressions. And so that's one thing that you need. And the other thing is a no-code tool. So we use Make. And so you can use Make to like grab content of a website. You can grab content of a Google Doc, whatever. So the way that your automation is going to work is kind of like this, right? So you need this make scenario, and the way that the make scenario is going to work is going to grab the content of the document, grab the project that it's linked to, and then you're going to do a scenario like this where you detect all the errors. All right. So this is a screenshot. I can't show you the real one, obviously, because it's like in a client scenario. But every single branch of this is going to detect whether a certain error occurred and then log the error against the project. Okay. So you're going to have some that you can do automatically like this with a regular expression. And you're going to have some that you can have somebody manually flag. So you can say, well, this welcome email for Walmart had the mistake that the first paragraph was too long and the whole thing was too short. Okay. And you can see that Dave, the copywriter, was assigned to this project. So Dave is assigned to these two errors. And we can say that Dave made these two mistakes overall and track Dave's overall quality. Okay. So that's how you do this. You submit the project, scan the work, and then tag the project with the errors made. So it's going to kind of look like this, right? Then you have another automation that once the quality checks are complete, either a person can tag it or you can have a timer or something like that will auto-generate this email, right? So the way this email is auto-generated is there's a header and a footer, and then all it does is compile. All it's going to do is compile information from here. So, this can be fixed by shortening the first, whatever. You're going to put some text here that's going to help your team fix the error. Basically, this is an SOP that's built in. And then what's cool is you can just have code that auto-generates this email. This can be auto-generated via a Slack message, email, whatever you want to do, right? And then the other thing you're going to do is, or the other thing that this allows you to do is rank your team to see who generally has the best quality, right? We would generally suggest that we have this annoyingness factor. We would generally suggest you go on like a rolling 1 week or 14-day or 30-day cycle, depending on how many projects per day or per week your team does. And we generally suggest that you track all the errors because all of them need to be fixed, but also that you rank the errors in terms of how annoying they are, how bad they are in terms of severity. Because some mistakes, if you make it like if you misspell your client's brand name, for example, that's far worse than missing a comma here and there, having an extra space here and there, right? So I would suggest that you rank or score each factor, or each mistake rather. So you have like severity, something like this, and you make it a number with 0 decimal places. And so maybe misspelling the client's name is like, that's super embarrassing. You don't want to do that. And the first paragraph too long is like pretty bad because maybe it hurts conversion rates or SEO, whereas it being too long is like a 2. This is not that bad of a deal. So each one you'd have a severity, ideally an instructional loom, and then some of these things you may be able to do a regular expression to detect. All right. So that's how you do that. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, if this is dramatically faster, being able to tag things like this versus typing out every single time. And this tagging also allows you to track the most common errors over time. So happy automating. That is all for today.